Okay, let's go through some of the vocabulary and the tools that we're using on site that are so important to us to be able to achieve our squares. I'll start with the bucket. Now, as you can see, we've already got some dirt that's ready to be thrown in this particular bucket here. The black bucket is probably the thing that you least expect that you're going to hate quite as much as you do by the end of a dig. But you get stronger, so that's a good thing. Don't worry about your gym membership while you're here. This is just removed from the site, and there's a designated area that we actually just dump the dirt that we don't want. As you can see over here, beyond the squares, we can see there's one of our allocated dump sites where we're actually removing the dirt. It's really interesting actually when you go on site. Now I'm noticing as we're visiting other sites, the site, the tell, whatever it is that we're actually looking at, and you're noticing another kind of almost mountain to the side, which is quite often where the excavation dirt is going. We're starting to be able to recognise that now. When you're starting at the top, you're starting with big tools. And at various stages when you're moving through the loci, you're also noticing there's an opportunity for using the bigger tools. Probably the two most important that we're dealing with is the pick and the hoe, and these are being used to open up the dirt and get it into the bucket so we can get what we don't need out of the way. As we move down through the loci, as we go into more delicate areas where we have to be careful because we're finding more evidence and things that we're trying to collect and record, we move to more precise tools. And that's where you'll find smaller picks, and trowels are being used for more delicate work. Dustpans to be able to get the material that we don't need into the black bucket. Also at various times we need the secateurs to be able to cut through any roots, especially anything that might be protruding from the bulk, because we want to be careful to maintain a very straight and precise bulk so that we don't damage the walls at the edges of our square, telling us where to stop. We've got the larger brooms to be able to sweep off various installation and keep things tidy, and smaller, softer brooms to be able to do more delicate work in an area that might be more fragile. That moves us on to another bucket. Now you'll notice that in this area, while there is predominantly black buckets everywhere, there are also coloured buckets. And this is really important because this is where we're actually collecting the material that we want to investigate further and to record. So it's a different colour to make sure that we're not putting the dirt in and mixing things up. It comes with a tag. We have to make sure that every bucket is very carefully tagged. We can see here somewhere to record all the information about what square it is, what loci it's come from, to make sure that we've got the right information. You can see there's actually a double tag because sometimes material is then sent on for further investigation. Inside the bucket also, sometimes there will be plastic bags and paper bags depending on what it is that we're collecting. For example, if it's a bone, we have to be able to allow them to breathe, so they need to go into a paper bag. And that will all be collected for this loci until it is closed off, and then this will be taken back, put out of the way, and a new coloured bucket will be installed. It's really important that this is not separated, because the minute this bucket with the material inside has no reference, has no context to where it's come from, it's no longer useful for us to investigate because we can't actually place it at any moment in time.